In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to create an SEO strategy for your business. My name is Tobey from Training Business Pros. Thanks for joining me. I've been doing SEO for a lot of years and it's changed a lot, but it's still possible if you know what you're doing. And in this video, I'm going to show you step-by-step instructions so you can get a very clear and concise idea on how exactly to make SEO work for you. By the time you get to the end of this video, you'll know everything you need to know to get started. All right, let's get going. Okay, so today we're talking about how to create an SEO strategy for your business. And the strategy is basically this. Let's do some keyword research, let's create some content, and let's put it out there and start getting some traffic. That's essentially the basis of SEO. Finding keyword phrases that people actually use and putting them in strategic places in your content. So we're going to show you how to do the research and then how to put the content together. Okay, first step is you want to do some free keyword research. And again, there's a difference between free and paid. I'll get to paid in a second. But free keyword research starts with Google Ads. Go to Google Ads and click on the Tools and Settings button. Click on Keyword Planner. And then discover new keywords. And you're going to essentially pick a search area. In this case, I've chosen Canada and the United States. Then just type in some keywords like music industry and get results. And what it's doing is it's showing us average monthly searches for keyword phrases that have the word music industry or words like it, like music companies and other things. So from here, you can choose keyword phrases that people actually use. The problem is that a lot of these keyword phrases are fairly short, and Google Ads doesn't give us very much long tail keyword phrases. In fact, they make us guess at those. And I find that those are more effective, especially if you have a new website or a new business. Sure, if your website is extremely popular and you get millions of views a month, then you can choose more competitive keyword phrases. But for most mere mortals, it's a good idea to pick more long tail keyword phrases. And this is where Google isn't that good. So what I would suggest is that you at least get a free trial with SEM Rush. Now, SEM Rush is a paid service, but you can do a free trial to see if it works for you. It's going to give you very different results. And one of the tricks that I found with SEM Rush is to use what I call leaf topics. So if you choose the music industry as your keyword phrase and you click on Keyword Magic Tool and you do a search for that, you also choose questions and under advanced filters, choose a word count of 8. And that means longer tail keyword phrases. So these are questions that people are actually asking. If they show up to your website or your video or whatever, and you've got the right answer for them, then of course they're going to read it and pay attention to that. So if you take a look at the list here and we search for the word hard, I did find a keyword phrase called how hard is it to get into the music industry? And of course, being in the music industry for many years, I do have an answer for that. And you can see that it's an average 40 searches per month. Now that might not seem like a lot, but the opportunity to grab all of that traffic is there because you're going to rank very well for it. Because it is a long tail keyword phrase and your competitors likely aren't using that keyword phrase. So we're going to take that keyword phrase now and we're going to do the next step, which is where to strategically put the keyword phrases. I'm using WordPress. So let's just grab the keyword phrase and let's make that the title of the web page. And of course, you want to capitalize the word how, and you can also put a question mark here. Now, what that's going to do is it's going to make the title of the page that keyword phrase. It's also going to make the URL that keyword phrase and also the H1 tag. H1 tag being, that's the title that people see on the actual web page. So title, URL, and H1 tag. Very important to have it in those three key places. Then I've got Yoast SEO installed. It's a free plugin for WordPress. And some tricks that I've learned is get rid of the site title, get rid of the separator, and get rid of the page, and just leave the title there. And then in the meta description, you want to use that keyword phrase again. And let's just do this. So how hard is it to get into the music industry? It's not that hard. And you've got 160 characters to write here. I'm not going to take the time to write them, but make sure that the keyword phrase you're using is intact, in the right order, and near the beginning of the description. And the next most strategic place to put it is in what we call the featured image. So where it says here, set featured image, I'm going to upload an image that I had previously created, and the name of that file is actually how hard is it to get into the music industry. And then on the alt text, you want to put it there as well, and then the title is already there. So in both of those cases, alt text and title, that's where you put the keyword phrase, and then set the featured image, and you can see that it shows up here. The only other thing that I would really suggest is that throughout the content of your web page, that you use that keyword phrase at least 3 or 4 times. So if you've got like 750 to 1,000 words of content, you want to use that keyword phrase several times. Obviously, it has to make sense where you're using it because Google actually uses grammar and spell check in their search engine algorithm. Okay, so I'm glad you've stuck around till now because I've got a couple of real powerful strategies for you that worked extremely well. The first one is that the Google algorithm now is really focused on how people interact with your web page. So if they're reading it, that's good. And yes, they're scrolling the page, that's also good because Google is checking how much time they're spending on that page. But what's even better than that is what we call interaction. And interaction means that they're clicking in many places on the same web page. And of course, how would you do that? And why would you do that? So here's a keyword phrase that I did called online concussion test. It also works for concussion test and free online concussion test, but let's just do online concussion test. And when I did a search for that, my client here, Brain Therapy Clinic, showed up. And if you go to that page, you're going to see that there isn't really a lot of content here. So what I said earlier about making the keyword phrase appear in several places on that page doesn't really pan out for this particular strategy. So why does it work so well? Well, it does have the keyword phrase in the title, in the URL, in the description, and in the H1 tag like I talked about earlier, and in the featured image. So it does cover those 5 key places. But it's not in the content itself. There's no actual textual content on this page. A little bit, yes, but not like a whole blog post. So why does it work? And the answer is people are answering the quiz. And every time they answer a question, they're spending more time on the page and they're literally interacting with this page. And that's why it ranks so well. So try to remember that. If you've got a page that is interactive, that's going to rank much better than any content page. Okay, let me show you the last thing, which is also a great strategy. And the trick to SEO in this particular case is to use YouTube as your content builder. So this is different than building on your website. You're building in your YouTube channel. So do you remember the keyword phrase we used, how hard is it to get into the music industry? Well, I posted a video yesterday on that very topic. And if you do a search for that in Google, which we're going to do now, and you scroll the page, you're going to see that the video that I made 12 hours ago is already ranking in a Google search engine result, which is pretty cool. Now, that's not to mention the fact that if you go to YouTube, and you do the same thing, it also ranks in the top 2 on YouTube. So you kind of get double the bang for your efforts. Take these long tail keyword phrases, what I call lead topic questions, make a video about them, post that video in YouTube using that keyword phrase in the title and in the description, and also in the video itself. So in the beginning you say, well, today's video is about how hard is it to get into the music industry? So that's a little bit about how to optimize for YouTube. But because YouTube is owned by Google, Google also shows YouTube search results in its search engine results page. So there's a couple of really powerful strategies that you can utilize to get better SEO results than most people. So again, it's about doing your proper keyword research, finding the keyword phrase that work effectively, like Longtail or leaf topics, and then creating interactive content and or video content. Also, if you want to write blog posts, make sure that the keyword phrase is in the strategic places that I pointed out. If you have any questions or comments about this SEO strategy, please post them below. I'd love to answer them. And if it's a very specific question, I may even make another video about that. Thanks for your time. If you liked the video, just give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. And click the little bell above and you'll get some notifications about our videos as we're making them all the time. Thank you.